Hi all folks, it's Marco here, back once again from mycolorscreen.com, helping you recreate Android home screens and make it in a simple and easy to follow way. Let us begin. Now today's Android home screen is extremely popular, and I don't mean popular like, it's popular like wow. It's doing amazingly well on Facebook as well as the mycolorscreen community. And that home screen is called New Tiles. It's a screen of the day by Altavizta, and it's going to blow your mind whole. Don't worry, it has some photoshopping to be done, but I'll be going with that through you on the computer over there, so have no fear. So as you can see, it's a single screen setup, but the look of it is simply amazing. It's got that little profile photo with the circle at the top there, really makes it stand out with its shadows, and of course you can change that if you want, as well as underneath it's got all of your app shortcuts that you can quickly jump to, as well as some minimalistic text widgets such as your battery temperature, your date, pretty much anything that you would want you could customize at that bottom there. So without further ado, let's bring us today's video tutorial. Alrighty, starting from the mycolorscreen page here, we've got our new tiles as you can see. So you want to look for the link at the bottom here that the author has provided in the description, that MediaFire link, and you want to right click and say go to. This is going to open up MediaFire as well as the link to download the new tiles RAR, I guess you would call it. So you want to just click download. It's going to say your download is starting, and there it's going to start downloading for you. So all you have to do is wait for it to download, and then one thing you want to know is that it's a .rar, which I don't think WinZip can handle, so you want to either download 7-zip or WinRar to basically unrar or unzip this file. Alright, so here it is. I've just copied it to my desktop, and it's a .rar. So you want to, if you just right click and drag, and then you can say extract to desktop, and then it'll create a folder for you called New Tiles by Altavizta. So there it is extracted. If you open it up, it'll have your fonts, your minimalistic text preference folder, as well as your new tiles. And this new tiles is going to be your Photoshop or your PSD file. So if you double click on it, it opens up the PSD file as you can see here, as well as all the layers on the side, which as you can see are quite a lot, and it's not so easy to use. So I'm going to be showing you exactly how to configure each one of these. So Alt is going to become your favorite friend in Photoshop if you're not too clued up on it, as you can zoom in and out basically and get just a closer look on things. And if you click the move tool over here, you can then whatever layer you've got selected, you can move around. So I'm going to be starting with this middle picture here, as it's obviously the most important. So first thing you want to do is select this circle around here. So I'm just going to be using the magic wand tool, and make sure that layer 33 is selected, because now we're going to click on the little circle and it should select it like that. Now all you want to do is right click on it and say layer via copy, as this will make now just a little ring that, say if you drag around like this, it's pretty cool. We're going to be using it for the underlay, or the overlay you could call it. So now you want to change this picture, you don't really need it anymore, so you want to right click and say convert to smart object, and then if you right click again, you can say replace contents. This will allow you to change it to another picture. So I'm just going to select this one over here and say place, and there it is. Now if you hold in Control T, this will bring up your free transform basically, and you can, if you hold in Shift, you can now resize it properly. So you want to make it so that it just touches the edges, as we're going to cut it out in a little circle shape. Just reminding you, if you haven't already noticed, that I'm extremely bad at Photoshop, so I'm afraid you're stuck with me. So if we select this top here, and you want to select elliptical marquee tool, you want to hold down Shift, say in the top corner here, and make it a nice circle like this. If you can't get it to that same size, you're going to have to try it again, but once you get it like this, you want to right click and say layer via copy again, as this will now copy this little image here. Remember that your picture that you inserted, that must be selected, otherwise it's just going to copy some other layer. So now you can delete the old one like that, and there you have it like this. Now why did we go through all that effort is now you can start adding in shadow, or you can add in shadows to the bottom if you want, but I'm going to leave this for now. So that's your image one done. Now you can start moving on to the others. So if we say start at the top, if you right click on an image with the move layer selected, And now you can see it's got quite a few to choose from. So layer 32 is going to be the one at the top. So if we drag it around, see it's moving like that. So to do that again, if you want to change it, you want to right click and say convert to smart object. You can obviously just drag another one over, but I just like doing this, save some space. Now if you select, right click and then say replace contents once again, like I said, you can choose whatever other wallpaper or image that you would want. So say you want a city one, and there it is. It's a bit too high, so if we just drag it down, it's more or less the same size as the last time. There it is, like that. There it is. It's placed nice and simple. Remember, hold an Alt to drag out and you can see what it looks like. So that's the top done. Now we can start moving along to the bottom. So we can just hold down and drag in again. Now I can tell a lot of people are going to be wanting to change each one of these images. So we're going to do it exactly the same way as before. What if you want to change this owl picture? Just select it or right click on it, select layer 28. That'll bring you to layer 28 over here. Just want to right click and say convert to smart object, right click again and then say replace contents. So say if I wanted this one over here, just double click on it. It's going to make it very big. So you just want to zoom out, Control T, and then hold and shift, drag a corner, and now you can get it looking good. Just want to drag it in again, Alt to zoom in, let's make it a bit bigger. So it should look like that. You're going to select the tick now, but as you can see, it's sticking out quite a bit, so we want to have to change that. So we want some of them to be overlaid and some of them, well, some images to be overlaid and some not to be, but there are quicker ways around this. If you want, say, one image to be on top of another, say this I love you, you're just going to right click and say layer 23. Now this is your sorting order, so if you bring it up higher, it's going to now bring it over that one. So images are really easy, but these colors are not. They're a lot trickier, and the quickest way around this, if you're not too good with Photoshop, is to say if I right click on this and say layer 42, that's the green one, and now I just select my selection tool here and I go for the rectangular marquee tool, and I just basically just drag it like that and right click and say layer via copy. It'll create a new layer that's just green. So now if we select the move tool here or just holding Control T, it'll allow you to edit it like this. But as you can see, you can't see it. That's because it's way at the back. So if you just double click it, so that'll place it and then drag it up, there it is. Really simple. You want to do the same for the purple ones. So say you right click on the purple, select the rectangular marquee tool, and then it doesn't really, like I said, it doesn't really matter what size it is. You just say right click, layer via copy, Control T, say drag it to there. These guides are really useful and I definitely recommend using them. So we're just gonna drag it up until it overlays that picture. You'll just want to say Control T again and drag it like that, and then select the tick if you want. So now if you want to make it for the top as well, you can just right click, say duplicate layers, click OK, select the move tool again and just drag it to the top like that. Now if we zoom out, that is one image that has been changed. Now it does seem like a lot of effort, but what's really great is that you can personalize each one of these just to the way you want it. Like I said before, I'm not a professional in Photoshop, as you can clearly see, but with a little bit of playing around, it's quite easy to change each one of these images or whatever colors that you would want. So what I've opened here is my mycolorscreen one, and this one is built for the Nexus 4. As you can see, it's a lot shorter. It's got some tiles that have been trimmed off just to make it fit better for the Nexus 4. So I'll be providing this one as well in the description below, just to help you guys out. So remember, if you have any questions relating Photoshop, I can try to help you out. As yeah, once this has been done, you want to select File and you want to go Save As. Now you can pretty much save it in that same file. You want to select Format, and I'd go for a PNG.png. Call it whatever you want, whatever like that, and then you want to select Save. Just select OK for none, and it's going to save it for you. Now we just want to minimize to the home screen, and here is our folder. So now you want to copy all of these except the PSD. So if you just move it to the desktop, you want to copy all of these onto your phone. So here's my Nexus 4 that's popped up. I just want to double click on it, and I want to say put it in a folder that you used to where you put all your other themes. I'm going to put it in this one here. So all you have to do is then drag it onto your phone and copy it onto it. And once it's been copied, you notice two folders here, your fonts and your minimalistic text preferences. Now remember, if you've used UCCW before, your fonts folder, you want to just say, you want to go into it and then copy the files in there. Just say Control C or copy and then go back. And now you should have a folder called fonts in your main SD card folder. Here it is. Here is mine over here. So you just want to go into that folder and paste your fonts into here. So once your fonts have been copied, next you can move on to your minimalistic text preferences. So what I recommend is that if you already have this folder on your phone, then you just need to go into the folder and then copy all of these into it. But if you do not have this folder, simply right click, say copy, go to your main internal storage folder again, and then just copy and paste it here. As you can see, mine is over here and it's got all of the preferences that you'll be needing to import onto your minimalistic text widget. So that is the computer side done. Next we can move on to setting it all up onto your phone. Let's do that right now. Great, so back onto your phone and let's get ready to start customizing everything that you need. I'm gonna start off with our Nova settings. You can be welcome to use Apex or SS launcher. Doesn't really matter what launcher you need. So I'm just gonna hold down and go into my launcher or my Nova settings at the top there. Gonna move into your desktop and then into your desktop grid. From here, I made my rows rows and columns a 9x5. That's for my Nexus 4 and it seemed to work very well. However, if you're using say an S3, a Note 2 or pretty much any other phone, I first recommend going on a 10x10. So I just went OK, and your margins you want to be none. You want to disable shadows. Home screens, you only want one home screen. You want to disable your label icons, and your widgets overlap when placing. They might be necessary, but I think you'll be able to get away with it. So we're just going to go back. Your dock you want it to be disabled, and for your look and feel, if you scroll down, you want to disable your notification bar. That's that one at the top. You do not need it, but if you do really want it, you're welcome to use a gesture or button. Just so say I use my double tap to toggle my status or my notification bar at the top, as well as using your home button as an app drawer. Why do I say this? Well, if you start off, you're not going to have an app drawer, but you can always put one in. So I just selected app drawer for my home button. That's this one over here to bring it up. So Nova settings, nice and simple, nothing special about it. We're just going to go back now. Your home screen should look like this. Remember, if you have any widgets or apps or whatever, just drag them into the X at the top or hold down and drag them in. Now we're ready to move on to the wallpaper. Alrighty, for the wallpaper, remember that's that Photoshop whole tutorial that you had to go through. Sorry about that. But once you've copied it onto your phone, you just need to hold down on your home screen and go wallpapers. Now, if you're using, say, your S or any other phone that's not a Nexus 4, I recommend just going into your quick pick or your gallery just to set it quite nice and simple. But if you're like me and you got a Nexus 4 and you are having troubles with setting your wallpaper, or even if you just have a phone that you're struggling to set a wallpaper, then I highly recommend using Wallpaper Wizardry. So from here, you want to go into the folder that you've copied your wallpaper into, and then just find your file like that. I'm going to select it, I'm going to select set now, and I want to go stretch and stretch portrait and no scroll. So that's going to now set my wallpaper for me, just so it doesn't jump around or do anything funny, and there it is like that. Great, so from here we're going to move into our minimalistic text preferences or adding in the widgets. So for your minimalistic text widgets, all you have to do is hold down on the home screen and select widgets. You want to go to that amazing free app called Minimalistic Text. Don't worry, I'll be doing an update tutorial soon. You want to select minimalistic text. Now this is very dependent on what size you want the widget to be. So if you want it to be in a little corner, say a little 1x1 block, you have to go for 1x1. However, if you want it to say be a side clock or the side battery or side date, whatever, then you have to select a 2x1. Same goes for that vertical battery, you want it to be a 2x1 vertical. So let's start off with say a 1x1. Just gonna select it, I'm gonna go for say the date. Doesn't matter, just go for this first one here. But now what's really important is the top options button here, and you want to select import. So say I want to import my battery, I'm just going to select battery blue, and yes, do it. and it'll import it onto it, and it even shows you what it looks like at the bottom here, which is really cool. Thank you, minimalistic text. So you just want to select save, unless you want to edit it, but we'll get to that now. And there it is right there. I can move it around, say place it over there. Nice and simple. You want to be doing that for each one of the minimalistic text. So I'm just going to do it again. Hold down widgets, minimalistic text. Let's say go for the side one, say a 2x1. I want it to be that clock over there. So just going to select again, options, imports. And remember, these are the side ones, so the date side as well as the clock side. So I'm going to go clock side. Yes, do it. And there it is like that. Now, one thing to note, this is not going to fit on my phone as the proportions are a bit different. Don't worry, I'll upload the Nexus 4 proportions in the description below. And these are a few of the things you can edit around if you're still not happy with the way it looks. You got your horizontal block as well as your vertical block. Pretty much shows you what it's going to be looking like on the little widget space. So it's going to be in the middle, but your vertical block, you can say make it in the center, and then it'll be a little bit higher up. So it even changes it for you. So you can scroll across. This is where you can edit everything. Say if you want the text, say that 50 to be smaller, you just have to know that it's this middle one here, the minute number 2 digits, and then you can override the size. To do that, you just need to select the tick or tick the override size button here, and then you can make the size say bigger or smaller. So if you want a 20 and go OK, and there you can see it's made it a lot smaller. Maybe it'll fit a lot better on your phone. Now for some minimalistic text trickery, if you want to get around something, say if you want to add in some buffers or a little bit of margins, and it's not really easy to do. So one thing, you just want to select the plus here. This also allows you to add in different variables, and you want to scroll to miscellaneous and then static text. Say you just want to add one and go OK. So add one into the bottom. Now if you just hold down on it and then say drag it to there, it adds it in. So you just want to select it now, and now you just need to select the static text and then make some spaces and then go OK. As you can see, it shifted that one at the bottom like that. So all you have to do once you got it the way you want it, you just select save. It'll save the minimalistic text. Obviously I'm gonna have to be doing some editing some more, making the text a bit smaller, but that's pretty much how all your minimalistic texts will go. As you can see, I've added in each one of these over here. What's really cool is that the minimalistic text is an icon one as well that allows you to add in pretty much any minimalistic text icon that you would want. It's really cool. Now to save some space in minimalistic text, or save some RAM, I could say, is go into your minimalistic text folder, and now this comes up with all your different ones that you can edit. So what I did with the search bar, that was just an icon one where I changed the icon, and you scroll across all the way to your tap behavior. Now disable action on tap has been selected, but I want to say start another activity. What's cool about this is if you select another activity or shortcut to open, is that you can add in, pretty much open up any activity or shortcut that you would want. Why do you do this? Well, for this search bar, I saved it as the Google search. So what's cool about that is that now when I select it, it brings up your Google search, quick and simple, just like that. So that's enough about minimalistic text. Next, we're going to be moving on to adding some shortcuts, such as for games, or say for your utilities. Okay, so this is very simple to do. You're welcome to use, say, just your Nova settings folder or your Nova folders. And to do that, it's really easy to do. Say I want to add in some quick shortcuts on this little heart. I just need to hold down on it, select apps, and you want to say select multiple, because obviously you want to make in a nice pretty folder. So I want to say add in a few, such as my calendar, my camera, Chrome, and my clock. And then I want to say create a folder. Now, as you can see, it looks like this, but I want to make it so that it's transparent. So I want to hold down on it, select edit, select the picture, and go into, say, my quick pick where I've copied the blank PNG. Do not worry though, I will provide one in the link below. You want to select it, you want to go OK, and then select the tick again, and now it is blank. So now when you tap it, it'll look like that. Pretty cool. So grid size is quite important, as if you want to make it for each one of these, say for your multimedia, just make sure that it fits quite well on each one of these. So that is our video tutorial complete. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. So thank you very much guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Marco from mycolorscreen, and as always, don't stop customizing. We get your home screens, we get your home screens, we get your home screens every day.